ladies and gentlemen, amid the relentless and intense conflict between the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, and Amhara Fano forces in the Amhara region, the situation on the ground remains exceptionally fluid and disturbing. As we endeavor to grasp the ever-changing dynamics of this crisis, the latest updates from the battlefront provide a deeply concerning snapshot of the ongoing hostilities. In the region of Gojam, beyond the capital city Bahir Dar, the very foundations of the governmental structure have been shattered. The Kebele administrations, essential for local governance, now stand in disarray, bereft of police stations and judicial institutions. In this administrative void, local shimaglus and chiefs have taken up the mantle of leadership to maintain some semblance of order and structure. The absence of law enforcement and the rule of law further exacerbates the vulnerability of the civilian population. Turning our focus to Teda in Gonda, we encounter a dire and distressing situation. The local police station has been targeted and attacked for the third time, underscoring the persistent volatility in the area. Tragically, one county-level official has fallen victim to these relentless attacks, serving as a stark reminder of the human cost of this conflict. In the northern reaches of Wello, encompassing areas such as Mb Bailo, Angul, Mida, and Maranya, we witness a grim tableau of intense fighting and confrontations. The ENDF's deployment of additional troops to this region signifies a worrying escalation in the violence and instability. The safety and well-being of civilians in these areas remain at great risk as the conflict deepens. Moving eastward to Aramania in northern Shiwa, Fano forces have initiated an ambush that resulted in the tragic demise of 6 Amhara police officers during a routine patrol. This incident is a somber testament to the ever-present danger faced by law enforcement officers who are trying to maintain order and security in this tumultuous environment. The situation in Atai, also located in northern Shiwa, is no less distressing. Fano forces have been directly implicated in the killing of 2 federal intelligence officers, adding another layer of complexity to the security challenges in the region. The narrative extends to Sina and Debre Sina in northern Shiwa, where a disheartening development has unfolded. A number of Amhara soldiers have made the difficult decision to defect from the ENDF, choosing instead to join the Fano forces. What sets this event apart is that these defectors have retained their weaponry, potentially tilting the balance of power within the region and further complicating the security landscape. In the Yasama Negus district near Wuchale, the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENEF, has undertaken a mass arrest, detaining as many as 100 Amhara soldiers. Their detainment is predicated on suspicions that these soldiers might be considering desertion, underscoring the deep-seated apprehension and mistrust that has permeated the conflict. In Emmanuel, situated in Gojam, a highly volatile situation has erupted. Fano forces initiated an ambush targeting ENDF soldiers who were on the move from Finoti Salam to Debre Marcos. In the ensuing confrontation, numerous ENDF soldiers were wounded, and the clash escalated, further exacerbating the violence in this region. The turmoil extends to Dawa Damot in Gonda, where a fierce battle is underway between the ENDF and Amhara Fano forces. Notably, the NDF is employing heavy weaponry, including mortars, as the intensity of the fighting continues to escalate. Reports suggest significant casualties on both sides, highlighting the devastating toll this conflict is taking. A somewhat surprising twist in the narrative follows a series of discussions and negotiations. Ethiopian army soldiers who had been in possession of captured weaponry reportedly made the decision to join the Fano camp without resorting to armed conflict. This event marks a significant shift, as the Fano camp has not previously experienced such an influx of soldiers who have chosen to abandon their previous allegiance without engaging in combat. Furthermore, in several areas spanning Gojam, Gondar, Wolo, and Shiwa, a remarkable development has occurred. ENDF soldiers have been observed surrendering their weapons and entering the Fano camp while waving white flags, indicative of a widespread shift in loyalty. The conflict is by no means isolated, and many key areas are embroiled in intense fighting. Locations such as Bur, Finota Salam, Azizo, Gondar, Maxinet, Este, Mersa, Amhara Sant, Mogdi, Kobo, Agambir, Midamira, and Tamaber have all become focal points of severe hostilities. Notably, this wave of betrayal has also seen high-ranking officers, including 4 colonels, and a substantial number of soldiers defect to the Fano forces. This significant shift in allegiance is accompanied by the acquisition of a considerable amount of military equipment by the Fano camp. Such a mass defection in a single day represents an unprecedented turn of events in the ongoing conflict. In addition to the ongoing hostilities and developments in the conflict between the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, and Amhara Fano forces, there have been concerning reports from Wolkite city in the Garage zone situated in the central Ethiopia region. These reports, as highlighted by Deutsche Welle, draw attention to the alarming situation unfolding in this area. According to these reports, many residents of Wolkite city have been subjected to arrests, creating a climate of fear and apprehension within the local population. The arrests have been conducted by the government's security forces, with operations taking place both in public spaces and within the confines of people's homes. What has deeply perplexed the residents is the lack of a clear understanding as to why these arrests are taking place. The motives and objectives behind the government's security forces' actions remain shrouded in uncertainty, leaving the affected residents deeply concerned about their safety and well-being. This puzzling aspect of the situation only adds to the anxiety that has already been pervasive in this region due to the broader conflict and its associated uncertainties. The reported arrests in Wolkite city serve as a stark reminder of the impact of the conflict on civilian populations throughout the country. The enduring instability and insecurity have not only been characterized by the direct confrontation between armed groups, but also by the collateral consequences, such as arbitrary detentions and the disruption of daily life for ordinary citizens. As these reports continue to emerge, it is essential for international observers and humanitarian organizations to monitor and address these concerning developments. The protection and rights of the civilian population in conflict-affected regions must be a paramount concern, and efforts to bring clarity to the reasons behind these arrests and ensure the safety of residents in Wolkite city are of critical importance.